Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So for today's video I'm going to be making a stinkin' sweet Valentine's Day card using Lawn Fawn. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so I'm going to be playing with some textures for today's cards. This is a Valentine's Day card. Don't know yet if it's going to be Ryan's Valentine's Day card or just a Valentine's Day card, but we'll work that out. So I'm starting off with a stitched rectangle. This is one of the Uniquely Creative ones. It's the largest one. I just figured I'd save myself a couple of seconds by already having it done. And we're going to use two different kinds of textures here. So the first one we're going to use is the Glitz glitter gel that I got from Simon Says Stamp in my Christmas order. And the other one, we're going to put worn lipstick down and then we're going to put fairy dust over the top. I'm thinking I might start off with putting the I can't even get my words out, putting the ink down first just to get it sort of all sorted. So I'll just grab my blending brush. This is the Lots of Heart stencil from Lawn Fawn. I haven't even used it yet. I've had it for what, 3 weeks, and I haven't, or actually it's probably longer than that. When did I get it? November, December. Haven't even pulled it out of its container yet, but I have seen lots and lots and lots of people use it and I think it looks amazing. And I'm into this sort of pink and red look for Valentine's Day. I know that pink and red don't usually go, but for Valentine's Day I feel like it does. So I'm just putting this on rather thickly. It doesn't need to be a really thick layer, and we're not going to put any texture or spray or anything on it to sort of change anything with the oxide, but just sort of put that all over there. And then once I'm happy, I'm going to do the glitter paste one first, just so that it's done. So I'm just going to grab this is just a microfiber cloth. As you can see, it is a well-loved microfiber cloth. And I'm just getting rid of a little bit of the excess oxide that's sitting on top of that stencil. You don't need to do that. It's completely superfluous, but I feel like it just makes this next bit a little bit easier. So this is the fairy dust stencil paste from Lawn Fawn. I love this stuff. As you can see, I've used a little bit of it already. I'm just giving it a bit of a mix, just with my little palette knife here. And this is my little tip when I'm using stencil paste like this one, that I'm going to mix colours. Go easy on your paste. You're better to spread all this, have this little bit here, add more than you are to put too much on here and then have it turn pink and you can't sort of put it back. So I'm just going to start off with just a little bit. So I'm putting that straight over the top, kind of just getting it into the spots. And then I'll come back and kind of scrape over the top. So you can see here I'm tinging my stencil paste a little bit. That's what I mean. I don't want to put that back in my container. So if I build this up slowly, then in a minute when I put it back, or if I need to add more, it won't be tinged. Hope that makes sense. Doing that final big scrape just to make sure I've got it in all the little bits. There is a little bit left over here, but not a lot. I'm just going to put it up there. I'll see if I can think of something to do with it, because I don't like wasting it. It's lovely. Okay, so we're going to take off the stencil. So we'll just lift that up gently. You see you've got our big bright pink glittery hearts. I am just going to take it off my station just for a minute because I'm going to go clean this up. Before I do though, I'm just going to grab this one. This is just another bit of, actually I won't use this one because I've already got it on there now, never mind. I was going to say I'm not going to use this one because I don't want to waste a perfectly good stitched rectangle, but yeah. I'm just going to pick this up, the leftover stuff, and just in a little area here. So I'm just going to pick this sort of bit here. I'm just going to stick that in, and I'll come up with something. It might be like a little tag or something that will do as well. So I'm just making it even. There we go. We'll let that one, oh, I've still got more on here. So I'm using every little last bit of it here. There we go. That'll work. So I'm just going to go ahead and go and clean this one. So obviously that one's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. I'm going to clean this off plus clean my tools, and then we can come back and start, hopefully, with the next one. Alright, so I'm also just going to grab a baby wipe just to clean up a little bit here. Yeah, just a little side note. So you guys know in my Christmas haul from Simon, I got an extra couple of these. When I was at Officeworks and I found that cool new stuff from that Born collection, Officeworks had these cool little magnets as well. So these are a little bit smaller than the Wendy Vecchi ones. You can sort of see a size comparison there. I'll do a zoom. But I just like the idea of having some slightly smaller ones as well, because why not? And I don't think they were too expensive either, which was a bonus. Okay, now I'm being super careful with that. I don't want to go anywhere near it until I'm sure it's dry. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, we can stamp out a couple of the images and colour them in, because this is going to be not complicated. So I've got my little bit of Expressive blending card. We'll just put that into the Misty. You could also use these in here. Just be aware that you can't then shut your Misty door. But if you want to just hold it still for a minute, it does attach. It's not as strong on there as it is on the make-up station though. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do here. I think I want to keep it simple because we're obviously doing such complicated stuff with the background. So I'm kind of tempted to just leave it as just the hugging skunks. I just think that will be enough, but I'm also not quite sure if I want to do more. So I'm going to start with the hugging skunks, and then if we want to add more later we can. So I'm just grabbing my Hero Arts ink, which I have noticed has been a little dry lately, which is making me nervous, but that's the fun of the Misty. You can stamp it twice or 3 times or 5 times. So for my little skunks, I'm going to stay very traditional with them and make them black and white because, or grey and white, because we are doing such bright backgrounds. So I'm going to use my toner greys. I'm thinking I might do T9, T7 and T5. I just want to see sort of where the real dark shadows are. So we'll start off with this T9, just put a little bit of the darkness, not a lot, because I don't want to overdo it, and I just realised I've done the wrong part of the skunk. Damn! Silly. Supposed to do, I'll colour him in too, but I want to do both ways, and I'll use this image in another spot. So hold on, I'll just stamp these out again, and then we'll start that colouring. Sort of put those in the dark shadows, and then I'm coming in with my 7 and just blending that out. I really want to leave right on his eye as light as I possibly can, so I'm being very light-handed around that eye. I really would prefer him to be lighter than darker, so I'm quite happy to only put just a little bit of that 7 as well, and then come back with the 5 and blend out the rest. It looks like a big jump, but I will find a happy spot in a second. Alright, so this is how this looks really not blended. This is how I kind of fix that. I go back in with my second layer of the T5 and just a little bit we'll put on just a little touch of the T7. It just helps it blend. The second layer helps a lot too, but if you are finding that it's just not quite giving you what you want, you can just go back with just a little bit of the T7 on the end. So I'm going to do the other skunk maybe slightly lighter. I do want to just finish colouring this guy in so that I can kind of see which one I like better. definitely round the wrong way, definitely. Okay, so for the second guy, or the girl, or whatever you want to call it, I'm just going to take, actually even taking out the T9, like I'll take the T9 out, but I feel like it, and I may need to come down with a T3, which just feels like really, really light. But anyway, I'm going to give it a go. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just putting just a little bit of that dark shadow, sort of where I feel like he needs it. And we'll blend it with the T5. T3 is a little bit dry, but it'll be fine. And then I can't leave that just white, so I just need to add a little bit of shadow. So I'm just going to use my T0 for this, so this will be very, very light. But just around sort of places that I feel like it needs a little bit. There's also been a couple of spots where I've gone outside the lines, so I'm absolutely fine to kind of blend those together. And I'll just grab just a little bit of my colourless blender just to blend it in a little bit more. I seriously find toner colours harder than regular colours. I can make other colours blend. For some reason I have real trouble with monochrome. But anyway, I think they look fine. We'll add a little bit of pink in a minute to their noses and stuff. So I'll grab, I think, R11. I always do that. So a little bit to their nose and to the inside of this guy's ears. I am going to leave his ears white so they do look different to his friends. I keep calling them both boys, I don't know why. They're friends. They don't have to be boyfriend and girlfriend, they can just be friends. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to cut that out with the matching dye and I'll be right back. Okay, two cute little skunks. Just need their white highlights. Also need the pen to work. There we go. And there is just a spot here where my greys got out of control, so I'm just going to colour that in. That's what the white gel pens are for. I'm just going to do a little bit on his ear. Oh, they're so cute. Okay. Don't want this to be even a little bit damp because I don't want to go over the top until I'm sure it's right. So I'm actually going to use this one as a bit of a tester. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. So we'll put this back on our station. It's still got the same little dots that it had, like glue dots that it had before, so it'll stick down once I put a bit of pressure on it. And then I'm grabbing the other part of the stencil. So this is a 2-part stencil. And all I'm doing is lining this up. Hold on, I'm just feeling this. Yeah, no, it's popping up, so it's fine. They sort of just line up with each other. So you can see here they're not crossing. So I'm just making it so it sits nicely. Straight-ish. Hold on, we'll get this bit straight first. Losing a little bit of the glitter, but I'm not losing any of the colour, so I think that's fine. Now I did pay attention when I put this down. The Lawn Fawn logo is always etched in one end of this, so I had it etched at the top, so I knew that I could just come back in with these ones. Alright, so this is the first time I've used these Glitz glitter gels. I'm a bit nervous. This one's called Cherry. That's probably the one that I wanted the most. I have taken the lid off, but I haven't actually used any of the paste yet, so I'm just gonna try and get as much off the foil as I can. There we go, because I don't want to waste it. Okay, the thing I am scared of is that this is not sitting flat. I'm just a little nervous that I'm gonna get some outside the stencil. I just need to do it and just have faith. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to do it and have faith. So I'm just poking that on. I'll do the same thing I did before, put it on with the big one and then sort of wash it around with this one and just have to hope. It's very grainy compared to the texture paste, but I kind of expected that. It does look awesome though. It's not getting into the places I don't want it to. That's the part that I'm really happy about here. Okay, I think I have it all. Whoops, I did until I just looked at that bit. Just pulling my head in so that I can get a good top-down view. So I'm just going to put all of the stuff that's left back in the jar. Barely used any. Love that. And then I'm going to pull this off and go and clean it because, you know, it's everywhere. That glitter is amazing. Oh, so I'm nervous and excited at the same time. So here we go. We're going to pull this off. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's kind of, it has leaked a little bit. The wetness has leaked a little bit around it, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. I'm just going to live with it. I'm going to put that up there to dry. I'm going to go clean this off and I will be right back. It's not perfect, but I think I can make it work still. So I want to have, I'm actually thinking it might be too, ooh, maybe we go that way. And we can hide some of that. Alright. So these are what the things I'm thinking. So I'm going to match up the, oh, I always do far too much. I'm going to match up this with just a little run of the, can't get my words out, glitter paper around the outside. So this is a little trick that I've learnt. So I'm just putting that down and I'm just marking where I want to cut that. Can't find my trimmer. So rather than wasting it, I will call it wasting because it does, glitter paper is too good to sort of keep, to not keep a bit of it. So I'm just going to mark where I want the outside of it. It's not, problem I have with texture paste sometimes is it just doesn't quite sit nicely. So it's going to be the base. I'm going to grab my rectangles. Just check. I think it'll be the second one. I don't think it'll be the first one. There we go. So I'm going to cut that out. So I'll have this one. So that way you don't need to use the bit in the middle. Because I do find it a little bit wasteful. So I'm just going to have an extra little bit here that I can cut out. Good thing is you don't have to be completely perfect on the inside of that. And then if you're a little bit worried about the fact that there's sort of like a bit of a dip in this is another, it's not a trick, but it's a little other something you can do. This is just a bit of my kids fun foam. So all I'm going to do is just cut this to be the same size as the rectangle we cut out, roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Whoops. Might have needed to be a little bit more perfect than that, but it should be fine. And then that sort of sits in there. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit more perfect than that, I think, but and that way it's got a bit of dimension. It kind of just hides the fact that there's sort of something missing there. So the next thing I'm going to do, not the first thing, I'm going to get my card base sorted. So once I've got my base, I'm going to come in just with my glue tape, just all around this frame, trying really hard not to tear it, because that would be bad. There we go. And then squidging it up against the edge. You can use your Misty or your scoreboard here to kind of make sure it's in the right spot. And then once this is down, just make sure it's in the right spot. Your glue dots give you a little bit of wiggle room, so you can make sure it's in the right spot. Then we're just going to cut off the excess. And then I think I have told you guys this before, but I prefer to use double-sided tape with foam as opposed to my glue dots. I just find that it sticks better. Really am worried, which I don't think I am. Could just add in just a little bit there, but I honestly don't think you'll notice it. Okay, so we've got our top bit, so I'm going to do the exact same thing with the double-sided tape and put that on here, and that'll hold this down flat. I'm just going to go the other way. It's sort of a bit of a, it's not a trick, it's just a tip, that if you go one way to sort of stick your base on, go the other way when you stick your top on, and that way you can sort of, if something moves, something wiggles, it gets hit in the mail or whatever, chances are it's not going to come off both. Don't mind the slight orange around it. I wasn't planning on it, which has kind of, it's just thrown me a little bit, but it's not horrible. It's just not what I thought. I'm just sticking that down, lining it up so you've just got that little bit of red. But see, that would have been very wasteful to use all that glitter paper just for the top of the thing, so I like that. Alright, while that's not drying, but while I'm doing this next bit, I'm just going to put that underneath my I was going to say put it underneath my die cut machine for a minute, but I kind of still need to put, I feel like it just needs something to break this up. It needs something a little bit more simple, so I'm just going to grab my scallop nesting circles. I'm just going to find the right size, which I think is that. Just going to run this through the die cut machine, and then I'm just going to ink it up with that same Kitsch Flamingo ink. Worn lipstick ink, sorry, not Kitsch Flamingo. Did I say Kitsch Flamingo before? I wondered why it was a little bit too pink. I meant to do Kitsch Flamingo. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Go. That'll do it. Okay, so I want to go soft here. I don't want to do the whole thing being really big and bright and pink. So I'm starting in the middle. I'm not putting any ink on this at all. I'm starting in the middle and I'm just going out. So it will be a little bit darker in the middle and then coming out a bit. I'm going to put a little bit of water on this one and a little bit of splatter, because I don't actually think I'm capable of doing a card without any. Middle there. I actually don't mind the fact that they're not sort of sitting on anything. Just gonna have that sit in the middle. I feel like I've now gone over the top when it comes to the dimension, but you know, I might as well now. I'm just gonna put another layer of the fun foam down underneath the circle. I've just freehanded that. I'll just trim it down so it's the right size, and then we'll go ahead and do the sentiment. Alright, then we just need the sentiment. I'm actually going to grab the add-on one for this one. I want the one that says "You are stinkin' sweet." And I'm going to cheat just a little bit. So I have a few sentiment banners that are pre-cut. Basically, it's wherever I feel like I need to, or if I have a spare or 7, I just keep them here. So I think I'll use, I definitely want one with a banner, so I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to white heat emboss "You are stinkin' sweet" on here. I'm just going to get rid of that so I don't accidentally make a mess. Going to do this with my acrylic block. Yes, it'll be fine. Part of me is thinking I need to trim this down, the other part of me is going, no, it's fine that it's a little bit longer. Just having another look at it, I just want to make sure. No, it's fine, it's fine. And then just put my Brutus Monroe powder on this, just a little thing I usually do. If I've got too much powder on here, I'll just get rid of it by doing that. That way you don't get powder mixed up in your embossing powder. Okay, and we'll heat that up and we'll put that on the card. Second before I rub this off, so I'm just giving it just a rub with actually that same bit of paper towel that I had before. I'm just not using the damp part of it. And then we'll put this up on a little bit of foam tape. Now I'm actually going to put it on a different piece of foam tape to this one for 2 reasons. Number one, this one is just a little bit too wide. So there's just a little bit too much of a chance that you'll be able to see it behind here. I could be a little bit more careful and, you know, make it fit, but I don't want to. So I'm going to use this one instead, which is a bit thinner. And it means I can put 2 bits. I can be a little bit more precise about where I put it. Have a really close look at this, you'd be able to see that the one piece of tape is actually sitting slightly on the other piece of tape. I actually am very okay with that. I feel like it's going to give me a nice little when I push it down, you're not going to notice, and it means it's going to be a really good stick. Alright, and there we have my Very Lots of Hearts Valentine's Day card. Now, I'd never used the texture paste before, especially the glitter stuff. So these are the things I think less is more. I need to experiment a little bit more. Perhaps I put these on too thick, and that's why it's kind of bled through there. But I feel like when you look at the card, it's not too much. I probably didn't need to do the hearts in glitter as well. Maybe that's what's gone over the top. But I do think it's very, very cute. It just doesn't quite give me the all that's perfect card look that sometimes I go for. But let me know what you think. You can leave me a comment down below. Of course, you can find me on my socials. If you did enjoy this one, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to join in with my giveaway that's happening at the moment. I will link that video down below so you can find out how to enter. Hope you guys have an absolutely awesome, awesome, awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles!